In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace your cooling fan on this Dodge Grand Caravan. Let's get started. Now let's drain the coolant on the driver's side. You'll see this red plug right here. This is your radiator petcock, so we're going to have to unthread that to let coolant drain out. Make sure you have a collection bucket underneath to catch all that coolant. Put a flathead screwdriver in here and turn it counterclockwise. You could also grab it with pliers if that's what you have. Basically, spin this until coolant comes out. Do not take it all the way out. Just let it drain like this because it's a more controlled drainage as opposed to taking it out, which will actually make things shoot straight out the back. Remove the radiator cap to let coolant drain a lot faster. With the coolant drained, let's close off the petcock, make sure it's nice and snug. When you tighten this up, don't over tighten it, just snug it up a little bit. There is a rubber gasket in there that will seal everything up. Now let's remove the hose coming off the radiator cap fitting here. Remove it off of its two retainers. Now let's get this coolant overflow out of here. Just pull straight up on it. Move the engine cover out of the way. This will give you enough room to pull this out of here. Okay, and there's the overflow. On the passenger side of the fan assembly where your dipstick is, let's pop this connector off, unlock the locking tab. You can use a little screwdriver or pry tool for that. Sometimes they get stuck. There we go. This one's pretty much full of sand here. And then you should be able to press on the tab. That will allow you to pull the connector off. Slow and steady here. This connector is pretty stuck on there. And there we go. Now you can pull it aside. It's difficult to see, but right here there's a retainer holding this wire on that we just disconnected. Try to pop this off. And these are often very stuck on here. There we go. You got to pinch it really hard with the pliers and then you should be able to pop it off. Over here there's another one of these retainers. That one broke. That happens pretty often. Now before we unplug the fans completely from the connector all the way down there, I'm actually going to start pulling them up off the radiator because it'll be a lot easier to reach that when it's not all the way down there. Now let's disconnect the upper radiator hose, pinch the clamp, get it off of here, break this free, and set it aside. Now pull this wiring harness straight up. It has a couple retainers here. The reason for this is so that we can push it in more and get it out of the way of the fan assembly here. It will be pretty much impossible for me to show you this while I'm doing it, but on both sides of the radiator there's a clip that has to get pressed in and that will basically unlock the fan assembly. So as I'm about to pull this up, I'm going to press that tab in. As you can see, that unlocks it. This is the case on both sides, like I said. Now press on those two tabs that I showed you earlier. Let's pull this up. Keep in mind this wire is still attached here. Now at this point, we can more easily disconnect it. Lift up on this red locking tab. There we go. Press the center, pull up on the wire. All right, let's get this entire harness out of here. And now we can finish lifting the fan out of the way. Now we have to remove this sensor here from the fan assembly. Press on this tab, pull it back, press on the lower tab, pull it back until it unlocks, pull it straight out. Now we can replace the fan assembly. On your new fan, if you bought a new one of these, go ahead and slide it in. If not, you can reuse your old one, line it up, and press it into position here. There we go, that's locked in. Now grab your fan assembly, slide it down. Don't go too far. I want to connect the electrical connector up here before it goes all the way down. So to do that, I'm going to grab the plug, slide it on, make sure it clicks. There we go. Lock the red locking tab back down. There we go. Sometimes you need to tap it with something. And continue sliding this down. Move this harness out of the way as needed. right. Make sure that on the bottom, that hook hooks onto the radiator on both sides, and then, meanwhile, on the top, this also has to line up and hook in. If you can pull the bottom away from the radiator, it's not locked in, it's not actually secured properly, so you have to redo it. Otherwise, air will not flow through the radiator, it'll get pulled underneath the fan, and it won't cool down the vehicle enough. Get this harness rerouted, attached, and plugged in over here. Make sure that clicks. Lock the red locking tab. There we go. Get the upper radiator hose resecured here. Grab the clamp, squeeze it, and set it back to where it came from. I like to line it up with the exact mark that it left. This gives it the best chance at sealing up again. Now, before you drop the tank down, keep in mind that these 3 notches have to line up with the coolant fan assembly. There are going to be some holes where these just slide in like that, kind of like a fork, but on the other side, and they catch onto these. So just keep that in mind. Slide this down. Press it tight up against the radiator. If you look, you can just barely see those lines. Tap it down. You should not be able to move it much at all. Resecure it on the fan shroud here and here, and reconnect it to the radiator. If you took your engine cover off, place it back on the engine. Now let's fill up the cooling system. Refer to your owner's manual for the proper type of antifreeze that you should be using. I also have this spill-proof funnel here, which is going to help me, well, not only not spill, but it's going to make this the highest point in the cooling system, which means air will naturally want to rise to the top. Let's fill this up all the way until it stops bubbling. To bleed the cooling system, we're now going to start the engine. As it runs, I'm going to turn the heat all the way to the hottest point on both. I'm going to turn the blower on low. We're going to want to make sure the AC is off. We don't want AC. I'll make it blow on the vents just so I can feel the heat. If you have rear HVAC controls, I'm going to do the same. Blower on low, heat on high. This will circulate all the coolant through the heater core. You're going to feel the heat once it warms up. And of course, as it does warm up, we're going to want to pay attention to our temperature gauge, which is on the left side of your dash. You're going to want to make sure it doesn't go past the halfway point. If it does, it's most likely an air pocket. So shut it off, let it cool down, and then start it back up. Once it warms up to full operating temperature, we're going to shut it off. Now let's cap this off. If you're using this funnel, it's easiest if you just squish on the upper radiator hose a little bit, plug up your funnel, and then remove it as you let go of the upper radiator hose. That will usually make it so that you're not spilling much at all. On the driver's side of your vehicle, near your battery, you'll notice this is your coolant overflow tank. If yours wasn't full all the way, like mine already is, you're going to want to add coolant until you reach the max line. Don't go over it, but make sure it's full. Now remove your coolant funnel if you used it, or the adapter at least, and put your radiator cap on. Make sure you click it on twice. It has 2 stages to it. There you go.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.